hope everyone's having a good day. Welcome on in, Riku. Don't worry. I hope you have a good look. Excuse me. And Cooper, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day too. Wait, let me just change screen. There we are. Hello, John. Jelly is on. Hello, George. How goes it? I hope you're having a good day as well. I just need to quickly move my keyboard. Normally I would put my keyboard on the mattress. However, there is no mattress here anymore. So I'm a bit lost in where to put anything, honestly. You can't see it, but like, they are right next to me. All of them are right there. Matrix, welcome on in too. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you had a good weekend too. And Scott, thank you for the egg. Welcome on in. We're going to be doing a bit of a mix today. This is kind of what I want to do going forward, which is half sewing, half games. Depending on the stream, we might do a full gaming stream or a full sewing stream here or there, but I kind of want to split it a bit more half and half, just after finishing that massive project. The other thing is, we'll be working on 2 costumes at once soon, and once that's the case, it'll be really nice to be like, oh, heck! Scott! Thank you for the 4 months, that's very kind of you, Jesus! Oh my god, thank you so much, I hope you're okay, you've been spending for a while. Yeah, but what would be really nice to do would be the first section like this, do sewing, then play video games for a few hours, and then come back and do the second cosplay project so that I can work on both cosplays in one day. So that's going to be the plan, hopefully going forward, probably mainly once we've moved house. We've got a moving day now. Moving day is the 11th. So what is that, like 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks? We got our day. We can go. It's been a good day. Thanks, chilling and vibing and plan. Ooh, where you going, George? Where is the planned holiday? Excuse me, I shall sip. Cat kiss. Oh my god, cats. So many cats. Thank you for all the cats and the 1 owl. Which, you know what? They could be a cat. Dear. Oh my god, is that another cat? Is that a cat from behind? Oh no. Oh dear, but yeah, things are going to be a bit weird for the next couple weeks because it's a lot easier for me to play games than it is to sew, just because as we saw, a lot of my stuff is going into boxes. And honestly, I keep finding more fabric around the rest of the house to add to these boxes, so I'm glad I didn't split that last one. There's no way the rest of my stuff would have fit. But yeah, so if things are a bit weird, I'll still be streaming lots, it's just I might not be streaming all of the usual stuff. It's just because we're moving house. And not only are we moving house, we've bought this house, so it's our first house and there's a lot to do. I'm sure anyone who has gone through this process before can sympathize. My god, it's a lot. But yeah, so if things are a bit funky for the next 2 weeks, and even like maybe the next month in general, apologies, it's just moving house stuff. Yes. The US! Ooh, lovely! Heck yeah! Whereabouts in the US? Or are you just doing like a little tour? Or have you got any conventions you want to go to? Hut, you've gone for Goblin Bard. Matrix, you've gone for Dwarf Warlock. Heck yeah. Honestly, they're a lot closer than they normally are. If anyone's been here for these costume votes before, often one will just sort of zoom off, maybe 2, but not normally all 3. So yeah, keeping it even. Dan Hart, welcome on in as well. I hope you're doing a bit better. You're feeling a bit better. I know you got a lot to do. Dear. So yeah, hopefully going forward, that will be kind of the stream layout. It will be doing 1 costume, playing some video games as like an in-between thing. They might be community games, or they might just be single player, and then doing the second costume, because it gives me a bit of like separation for when we're doing more than 1 costume at once. And that'll be really, really good once we get into our next competition piece, because it means I can work on other things at the same time. Yes. I actually gotta go take a lateral. Oh yeah. I mean, I hope you feel better soon. Heck yeah. I mean, if you're still feeling bleh, I feel like might be an indication. But yeah, so today, because we're not working on any costumes right now, the sewing is going to be a bit more minimal. Once the vote finishes, which honestly, at the rate that it's going, it will be in like the next 4 streams, because I think the one in the lead had like 20%. Yeah, 23% now. So I think probably it just went up a little bit because of people voting. But with that being the case, I would imagine by the end of the week we'll have a winner, which is quite quick. There was a small part of me that would hope that it would last until we moved, but that's fine if it doesn't. It just means I'll take some fabric, put it to one side and pack it separately when we do move. Not a big problem. And especially since they're all ones where I think I do have the fabric to do the costume, so should be okay. Today though, we're gonna be making a skirt. Let me show you the fabric. I have cut it out already just because there is no space here for me to cut out larger pieces of fabric. But this is the fabric if you haven't seen it. It's very hecking cute. It's like a light pink with rose gold spots on it, and I saw it and I was like, I have to have it. It must be mine. It probably needs a bit of an iron, but we're not doing that today. And I want to make it into like a maxi skirt, so I do want it to be quite long. I'm just more of a fan of slightly longer dresses and skirts personally, so a maxi skirt works well for me. I've cut it quite big. You can see I'm going to turn it into pleats, and then I have a little waistband cut at the top. So yes, that's what we'll be doing today before we do anything else. And then I was thinking maybe play some Genshin and maybe some marbles. Maybe do marbles and then Genshin. We'll see. But yeah, I've have I updated marbles actually? It might have to be just Genshin today. Actually, I just remembered I haven't actually checked to see if there's any updates. And I could, you know what? I could do that later. It's fine. We'll live. I've got it on my computer. Oh dear. New York area east and LA west. Visiting friends that have worked out other plans. Yeah. Ooh. It'll still be quite chilly in New York in, was it February, right? You'll still be like, you'll still get the chill in the air. But you know, it's an experience for sure. Heck yeah, that'd be nice. And you know, there's a lot going on in both LA and New York. So I'm sure you'll have plenty to do. And yeah, thank you. I loved it. I just, when I found out we were going abroad, I just thought it'd be really nice to pick up a fabric that I can make something out of and like make my own kind of souvenir. That being said, I did also buy this jumper there because we had an unexpected cold turn, and I only had like t-shirts, and I was like, oh my god, it's cold. Leaving Aussie summer for the US winter. Oh, true. Yeah, you're going to be going from the hottest to one of the coldest. Although in February, hopefully it'll be getting a little bit milder. Yeah, was it cold in Amsterdam? Not cold, but on the last day it was tipping down with rain. Like, and we had to leave our hotel because the plan originally had been on that day to leave the hotel, wander around for a bit, and then go catch the Eurostar. But then because it was raining so hard, we put all our luggage in a locker at the station. And then we were like, we're not dressed appropriately for it tipping down with rain. So we just nipped in and out of shops and bought a couple things that we could wear over the top of our clothing. This being one of them. But I loved it. Look, it's like a rainbow jumper and it's oversized. It's everything I want in my clothing. Oversized, rainbow, warm. So you know what? It's a win in my book. I think we also picked up some more cheese too at that point because we were like, man, that cheese was good. I regret not picking up that cheese, so we went and picked up some more cheese. I see, yeah, it wasn't really cold, it was just like really wet. This is cute. Yeah, I love it. And Shiny got something not quite the same, but like along the same veins. I've made this complaint on before. Colorful clothing for men. Where is it? Why is everything black, gray, white, or like navy? Like, it's weird, but men get the same options in their everyday clothes as women get for bras. That was a good decision, but like we're always keeping an eye out for like more interesting, brighter colored pieces of clothing for Shiny because like you don't need that many black, navy, grey and white t-shirts. So we had a little look around. We found one or two things that are quite nice. They were all more expensive than mine, but you know what is what is, I suppose. You pay the premium for wanting something a little different. Oh dear, mine were relatively cheap, honestly. Heck yeah, it's nice. Right, we should probably get sewing, honestly. Let me just move my glass because I have 3 drinks today. I have prepared. We do have some people viewing this property later. I'm gonna make sure that I finish stream by then, but don't worry, that is quite a lot later. That we're talking like that's in like 6 hours kind of thing. But I will have to keep an eye on the time, getting a bit later just to make sure that we finished stream before they all come in, and because we got viewings back to back for like 2 hours. So we're gonna try and get out the house, maybe go out for dinner or something, like an early dinner, because I don't really want to be in the house while there's, what is that? If they're all 10-minute viewings and they're lasting 2 hours, there's 12 viewings in a row. Like, I think I'm good, like just leaving the property while 12 people view this. I don't want to be here. That's a lot of people to meet, and they're all gonna probably ask questions, and I'm just like, I don't, you know, anything I'd say about this property would sound negative because we've seen the listing online, and whoever rents this after us, I'm not going to tell the people that come in because I do want someone to you know, take this place so that people stop viewing it. But whoever takes this property is paying £200 a month more than we are. Like, when we saw how much it was listed for, we were like, oh, they really upped that. Like, you kind of do expect the price to maybe go up a little bit for new tenants, but we weren't expecting it to go up £200. So yeah, probably best that we're not in the house, because this house is like, there's a lot of issues. You have one room in this house you just cannot use because the roof leaks. The garage roof also leaks. They've also bolted the garage door to the floor so that you can't open the big one. You can only open the side door. So if you have a car, you can't put it in the garage. There's so many problems with this house, and like not as bad as when we moved in, because when we moved in, the house wasn't even gas safe. But like, you know, the grill doesn't work. What do you call it? There's like, because the room next door leaks, not the room, the roof in the room next door to this one leaks, you can actually see at the top of the ceiling it leaking into this room too. And you can't use one of the cupboards because it's moldy. And even when you clean the mold, it comes back because the roof leaks into the cupboard. There's also some pipes from the outside in the garden that go directly to the wardrobes, which means if bugs fly into the pipes, you will find them in your wardrobe. I don't know why. I don't know why the wardrobe needed ventilation like that. But we only discovered this because like a few weeks after we moved in, we were sitting in the garden, you know, having a chill time, and we watched a bee fly into one of the pipes from the outside of the house, and we were like, I wonder where that goes. But it never came out again, and we were like, oh, I hope there's not like a bee's nest somewhere in this house. So we went back in to see if we could like hear any bees, and we couldn't hear anything, and so we kind of dismissed it, like it's probably gone back outside, whatever, like it's probably just cut off and it had to turn around and come back, whatever. Later that evening, Shiny yells, there is a bumblebee in our wardrobe. The pipe, you could see it. There's like a little hole in the carpet at the bottom of the wardrobe, and the bee just come out the pipe. There's so much about this house you do not want me telling people viewing it, because it's like, you can't use one room. Also, the small room is listed as a bedroom, but it won't fit a standard single bed in it. So you could only really use it as like a cot room for a baby, and the room leaks. So I really wouldn't want to use it as a cot room for a baby. You can't use the cupboards in this room, and they're built in, so like get screwed. That's half the space of the room that you can't use. I haven't shown, but there's stickers on the wall. We never took them off because, you know, they were attached to the wallpaper, but there are stickers all over the wall, like children's stickers. If you're interested, they're there. There's mold and some issues around the windows on this side of the house. I think that just needs to be redone at some point, but you know, sure. And yeah, there were random pipes that let bugs into your wardrobes. I don't know. Yeah, so we're gonna try and leave while they do the viewings, because like I would be a detriment to a sale. And I'm back. Welcome back, Hut. And Potato, this is in fact what the Eurostar looks like. It's surprisingly similar to my sewing room back home, which is my comfort levels are really high. Oh dear, I hope you're having a good day, Potato. I'm just like honestly just chatting shit about the house I live in right now. The thing is, I would be a lot kinder to the house if the landlord had been in the least bit chill. But like, they tried to up our rent by 100 quid this year, which we said no, kick us out. I'm not paying an extra 100 quid a month, like bugger that, especially when the roof still leaks. So then they said they threatened us with serving us like a section 21 or something like that, which is basically they will evict us if we don't take the pay. And we were like, yeah, do it, evict us. And then they backed out. And then they were like, actually, we won't do this. And like they kept trying to offer us deals of like, well, we'll keep you at the same price, but you have to get into a 24-month contract. And we were like, no, no, serve us a section 21, do it. And yeah, they backed out, and so we managed to stay here paying the same price. But the next people, they're paying through the teeth. I think as well the fact that they kept the house not gas safe for a whole year, and then when they did make it gas safe, they tried to up our rent by 100 quid, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. All you've done is made this house resellable. Oh. Thank you. I had such a good time, honestly, and all the other cosplayers are so sweet, and we were taken care of so well. And like, I genuinely can't recommend that competition enough to any other cosplayers. Like, even if you don't think you'll get in, even if you're worried that your costume's a bit last minute or whatever like that, enter it. And if you're in America, you do still have a few days to enter a costume into TwitchCon San Diego. Even if you're unsure, enter it, because if worst comes to worst, you don't get in. Okay, you can enter the costume into something else, but if you do get in, all expenses paid holiday is like the least you win. At the very least, every single person that entered TwitchCon Amsterdam had a full expenses paid holiday. Ah, dear. So, and also they really did look after us really well. Like, we were treated so well. We had a really nice space for dressing. We were fed the whole day. Some of us could eat more than others, but we were fed the whole day. We had like our own separate toilets as well, which is not something that I thought of, but was really good to have, because, I know that I wasn't the only one that struggled with, like, it took a long time to go to the toilet every time, basically, and having our own private toilets was really good. Do it, you won't. Well, that's basically what we came into it like, because we already knew at that point we'd had an accepted offer on our house. So like, we were like, well, we're gonna buy any month now, we could move in. So we don't want like a 24-month contract, and we also don't want to be paying an extra £100 a month in the meantime when we're trying to get a mortgage. Like, absolutely not. So serving as a Section 21 was like, well, we have to leave in 6 months. We were like, we'll probably be in the new house in 6 months' time. So do it. Serve as a Section 21. It just means we don't pay any extra, and then we move into our new house. But yeah, our landlord here, not the worst landlord I've ever had, but up there. I think the real kicker was trying to raise the rent because they made the property gas safe when it hadn't been gas safe for over a year and we'd still been living in it. Like, that was the real, like, okay, this landlord does not care at all about their tenants. The only reason they made it gas safe was because when the agency checked the house, they were like, you can't have renters like this. Either you have to fix this or the renters have to leave. And that's the only reason they fixed it. Because when we moved in, it wasn't, and it wasn't for over a year. And the only reason it took that long to have a viewing was because of, to have the estate agents, like, look at it, was because of the pandemic. Normally they would have seen that much sooner. Mine was like, yours was great, and it was not a rush. At least it didn't look like a rush job. It looked very well crafted. Show us the souvenirs you got. I can't, I packed a lot of them away. This is a souvenir though. I got some fabric and I'm gonna be making it into a skirt today. You're like, welcome back. Oh, dear, thank you. Rainbows. All I want is fluffy rainbows everywhere. We have found out as well, a little bit of news on the new house. We knew it was going to need work. Like, listen, we were able to buy a property, and I feel lucky enough for that, but it's not perfect, and there are some things that need to change. The loft room is the room where I'm going to have as my crafting area. But right now, the way that the loft conversion's been done, it's first of all not to regulation, but second of all, they've stripped all the insulation out of it, which means the loft gets very, very hot and very, very cold. And there's not really any way to regulate that. The thing is, because they did the roof conversion outside of regulation, the loft conversion outside of regulation, we have to lower the roof in the loft room, so it's going to be quite expensive, and also it's going to take a little bit longer than a lot of the other fixes. Like putting in new floorboards, that's not so difficult. Changing the radiators, that's manageable, but that is going to take a minute. So what's probably going to happen is when we move in, I'll move in my sewing stuff to the ground floor where the living room would be, and I'll have that as a temporary streaming area. And then once the loft has been done and we've plastered it and everything's fixed, then we'll move upstairs. So just take a little bit longer to get up there. Oh, and Kane, thank you for the follow. That's very kind of you. House maintenance streams, yeah, basically, you want to see the roof? I'm good, thank you, Cooper. I'm very good. I had a bit of a migraine yesterday, but because of that, I rested a lot, and now I feel very well rested. This is good. And Steve, welcome on in. Fluffy Rainbows, yes, you're in physical pain. Why? I'm kind of sick too. Went to the beach yesterday, and sunburn. I feel that. I don't burn too often, thankfully. I do apply factor 50 whenever I go outside. But I also don't burn too quickly as well, so that's good. But I've burnt only once bad enough to peel, and it stuck with me. I'm never doing that again. It was awful. Oh my god, I was peeling for weeks. Oh. And it was like my whole upper body as well. It was... Dear me. Ah! Hi, Grobbit. Welcome on in. Oh, Grobbit's gone for dwarf. Sleeves have gone for dwarf. Cooper's gone for egg. Oh dear, guys, how you doing better? Thank you. Yeah, I had a call from my parents yesterday as well. Oh, if anyone sees Sunkoi, I need to. My parents have decided that they like Sunkoi's costume. That one was the costume. They've always liked Pokemon costumes. As soon as they were like, the person in the blue costume with the tail like yours, I was like, Sunkoi, you like the Pokemon costume. Oh dear. Well, if you see Sunkoi, I need to tell them that Mama Jelly really likes their costume. Oh dear. Ah. Yeah, that's the other thing is I'm probably gonna be coughing a hell of a lot, not because I got COVID, but because the goddamn dust from packing all this fabric has been hitting me hard. Hey Jelly, remember I missed the MRI and was meant to have another after TraceCon? Yeah. Have you got a reschedule? Oh, rescheduled. Excuse me. Just screaming into my mic today. That's probably what it is. We're gonna have a really chill stream where we all just get it out and scream. I did enjoy the museums. Oh my god, the was it? Oh, now I'm gonna. It's not Works. It's Right Museum was so much bigger than Google said it was. Google was like, you can finish this in 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, 5 hours. We were there until it closed, and we still didn't see everything. If Google says on that museum 2 to 3 hours, it's a lie. It's not 2 to 3 hours. That is a whole day museum. Can you ask me if I'm stupid? Never. Listen, can't do that. I'm a chill streamer. Echo, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day as well. Welcome. Yeah, I said like 10 minutes ago, we'll start sewing now. Here we are, drinking our coffee, chatting shit. My bad. Faye doesn't want me to get in. Oh yeah, of course, because you've got COVID. Yeah, it does make everything so much more difficult because of course, like, for me, I've tested positive twice. We think as well that might be why I didn't get it at Amsterdam, because I would have had COVID a couple months ago, last. And so maybe, because nearly every cosplayer got COVID, or their assistant got COVID, and both me and Shiny have been okay, but then when we were looking at it, we were like, actually, I've had COVID fairly recently, or I've tested positive for COVID fairly recently, so maybe that's why I didn't get it, because, like, it's clearly it was there. Oh dear. The Sunkoi encounter, January. That was what my mum's reaction was like. She was like, I love the sparkle, I love the ball gown, I love the armor, but that blue tail. It's like, Mum. Oh dear. Yeah, Mama Jelly. But then she's always really liked my Pokemon costumes as well. I think Mama Jelly likes original costumes. If I had to guess, I think she likes when people have designed their own costume, and then she's like, that one. Whoever's designed their own costume, I like that one. Next time I'll have to do that so that I can be Mama Jelly's favorite. Oh dear. Oh, you're fine, Kane. Second time I had my MRI cancelled now, yeah. I was lucky when I had my MRI, I came in, well, this doesn't sound lucky at all. I came in with A&E because they thought I'd had a stroke. So I just zoomed straight in for my first one because I couldn't speak and I had got unconscious on the roadside basically. So, like, something's happened. Let's get her an MRI straight away. So the moment I started having symptoms, I had it the same day. They were like, she might be fine. She might be having a migraine, but she might also be having a stroke. Let's just check. So it wasn't lucky in that, like, it happened, but it was lucky in that I got it really quick. I was like, zoom. That was also the time where they took so much blood that I couldn't move my arm anymore, and it just sort of flopped, and I freaked out. I was like, because I was already nervous that, like, you know, something had happened and I didn't really remember and I couldn't really speak. And then also I now couldn't move my arm. I was like, oh God. I was a mess. Well, I guess that's kind of what you expect though. Oh dear. Ah, yeah, Aries from God of War. Heck yeah, Aries from God of War. At least you didn't leave halfway through. I had a lovely day, Az. I hope you're having a good day. 10 days before the con. So that's almost like the ideal situation, as long as you recover in time, is to have it like a few weeks before you go, so that even if you're around it, you're less likely to get it. I would have been stretching a bit, because I think I did have about 2 months ago, which is a bit further, but I had no symptoms. I was just testing positive. And so we weren't even sure if it was just like, is it because I've done the English test rather than the Welsh test? Because the Welsh ones all came back negative and the English ones all came back positive. And so we were like, and like, this is in the same day. This is like, I have one of each test. One's negative, one's positive. And so we were a bit confused. And this had happened before as well, back in November. And so we were like, is it just that this test will always come back positive for me? But then at the same time, it's like, I was working with a lot of people with COVID at the time, so it could have been that I'd had it and just had no symptoms. And Shiny, I just don't know. I don't know how Shiny has apparently avoided COVID for like 3 years, but yeah. I might have cotton candy of blue. So at fairgrounds near us growing up, they would sometimes have blue cotton candy, and it's always my goal to be cotton candy. Always. Thank you. Did you get my messages on Instagram? What, while I was away? Yes. It did. They came in like in chunks, but I think that was with everyone's messages. My internet was not very good. So what I'd get is like no messages for a day and then like 100 messages. I'd be like, bugger. Oh, good God. That's a lot. Oh, dear. Mother Miranda's wings. Right? Like, so nobody was expecting that. Like, we knew there was going to be somebody dressed as Mother Miranda, but no one was expecting mechanical wings. And like, they came in and hung it up and we were like, wait a minute. There's electronics in that. Like, and no one was expecting it, because I think they were in the sewing category, if memory serves. And so no one was expecting electronic wings there. And it was like, wow, they were so good. And they moved so smoothly. They were so smooth. You'd avoided it till now. It was going to happen at a convention then, wasn't it? Shiny and I just built different. I never got COVID to my knowledge. I only had symptoms with COVID once. And it was really mild. Like, I was suffering more from having to sit in one room for 2 weeks, because this is when there was like the 2 weeks minimum, and you have to test negative at the end. And so I was in this room, nowhere else, for 2 weeks. And because Shiny never got it then, so we were trying to protect Shiny as well. And I was going out of my mind. I was so bored, because I did have like a bit of a rough throat. Like, my throat was sore, but I always have a cough, so like that wasn't any different to usual. In fact, it probably was just my regular cough and my throat was sore. And so like I was losing my voice a bit, but that was it. And that was the only symptom I have. Never had a runny nose, never had a proper COVID cough. I just had a sore throat and was losing my voice. That was it. And so the 2 weeks, I never had a fever either. Completely feverless the entire time. And yeah, and then the next time I had no symptoms at all. But at that point, I was triple jabbed, and I'd only like just been triple jabbed, so that might have had an effect on why I had no symptoms. But yeah, nothing. And I just had to stay in the room for again. And within 5 days, I was testing negative, so, which makes sense as well, because I really didn't have any symptoms. Those wings are kind of weird. Then boom, they started moving. So yeah, she was doing tests for them in the room at the back where we were all getting ready, and everyone was like, whoa, no one was expecting that, but that's so cool. Do you guys actually want to do some sewing today? Do you fancy doing some sewing? I probably should. Let me switch screens really quickly. There we are. As you can kind of see, my desk is a lot emptier than it usually is, because we're moving in 2 weeks, so we got to start getting stuff packed away. It probably will get emptier again. At the moment, I have these ready for packing. My bobbins, which will be one of the last things, whatever my current thread is, will be one of the last things, and my sewing machine will probably be one of the last bits to go as well. But the embroidery machine is gone. All the stuff with the embroidery machine is gone. It's all packed away. Most of the stuff from the drawers here now is packed away too, except for like a few odd pieces. All of the stuff in the drawers over there. I still have my work uniform in there for some reason. I need to do something with that, but otherwise the other drawers are cleared. Yeah, we are moving everything out of this room pretty soon. Leaving us on it, I swear I'm a I know. Sunkoi honestly came in with the best mentality as well, just to have a lot of fun. Like, I was getting quite nervous before I went on stage, but I was also, so the way that the stage was done is there were two entrances to the stage from the left and the right. All the larger than life cosplayers were on one side and everyone else was on the other. Just because the larger than life costumes take up so much space comparatively to everyone else. So I didn't get to see Sankoi like before or after they went on stage. The only people I was with was Velena and Jumika, who were also larger than lifers. Everyone else was the other side. So yeah, I didn't get to see them until after the performance, but I did get to watch them on the screen, which was nice. We had like a little TV behind the stage so we could watch it, and that was nice. And I did get to see them a little bit from behind, but it was a bit difficult because you don't want to be on the camera shot, so you didn't want to go too far forward. But yeah, it was really good. Honestly, it was set up really well. I think we were all quite impressed. Right, I want to do a proper box pleat with this. Oops, sorry, bashed the mic. So this is the back of the fabric. I need to get this fabric, all of this fabric, to be, oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. To be this length. So this is my waistband. So we need to basically pleat it until it's that length, and then I can sew the pleats in, and then attach it to the band, and then sew the band over, hem the bottom, hem the sides, job done. It's actually, skirts, I would always say, are like one of the easiest things to make, and I would always recommend do that first. Do skirts, do pajamas, do an apron, anything really easy. And skirts specifically are super easy. Now, do I want to measure my box pleats, or do I want to just go for it? I kind of want to just go for it, honestly. So if I get some box pleats in, I can always loosen them off as well if I need some more space. So I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Move this for now. Come back for that. Oh, quite funny, look at the comments, how people were latching onto the, hey look, a guy, I wonder how disappointed they'd be to find HRT. I think it is quite unusual to see male people in these, at least in TwitchCon cosplay. You get a few, but they are definitely outnumbered. But there were quite a few male cosplayers at this one. Like we had, what do you call it, Heartskin and Legolas as well. Yeah, Legolas, who was Ars Hedda. I'm trying to think if there were any others. Maybe it was just two. Maybe it was just two. Because Sunkoi, I don't think they're non-binary, aren't they? And then you're going on a HRT. Was it just two? Have I just got it in my head there was a lot more? Okay, well there you go. You know what? Two. Oh, listen, if you're a male cosplayer, get in on this. Clearly we need more. You're outnumbered at the moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do some pleats and just do them by eye. And then if I need to loosen them later, I can. It's really easy. But I'll do them by eye because I can't be bothered to measure them when it's just for me. This is how you do a box pleat. You basically just make a little box. It's a really flattened box, but it's kind of a box. Yeah, normally you'd measure it because with box pleats, for someone of my size, the length of the fabric would be 3 times the amount of the waistband. Sometimes it needs to be a bit higher depending on what dress size you take, but normally it'd be about that much. It's a pretty good guideline for like if you're not following a pattern to cut something out. It's like you probably want to go about 3 times the length of your waistband. And then if you think it's going to need to be a bit bigger, just add extra. Do like 3.5 or something like that. Look, guy, okay, dude. Well, I don't honestly know one will be able to tell what shape I am anyway. That's kind of my goal with cosplay. The next one that I do, I've already kind of announced it. I'm going to be doing Zoe from Resident Evil 7, but specifically from the End of Zoe DLC when she's infected. That's what I want to do next year. That being said, I really, really, really want to do it as a quick change costume or like a tear-away costume. So what I really want to do is make a costume for the molded and have it tear away and have Zoe underneath, right? That's the plan. But first of all, that does somewhat depend on our time, but I just think it'd be really fun to be that like large shapeless blob. So that's kind of what I want to go with. You know what? For TwitchCon next year, I want to be a large shapeless blob. Because honestly, body type costumes are not generally my favorite, because there's a lot that can go wrong, a lot that can slip up, a lot that can slip out. So I prefer like a bit less. Like ball gowns are fine, but like Mateus was really pushing it for me. Like I was very uncomfortable taking the initial photos for Mateus because that's a lot on show for me. I'd rather not go too much into that again and do something a bit more blobby. Because Zoe is very much not a blobby character. So I think it'd be fun to have like a blobby character over the top of Zoe. And the infective works well. I can't wait to go against Robin to MCM. If I have a Batman to go to, the thing is, that's such a fun one. Because it depends as well. Are you going to do like 1960s Batman and Robin, where it's like really camp? Because that's like, in my mind, that's the best. The best one. Or are you going to do like a more modern Batman and Robin? Oh dear. I have some more revealing cosplays planned for once I have a body that is more shaped that I like. I can't wait to see Tiffany. I can't wait to see both of yours. But then this is one of the most fun things about cosplay competitions. They make everyone pushes themselves to the absolute limit with these cosplay competitions. So you get to see people's best work a lot of the time, which is so nice. It's so nice. Also, thank you for the damage. Oh, and you've gone for Goblin Bard. Heck yeah, Amazonia, welcome on in. We're actually, you can join in with this one. We're talking about the costumes we're going to make for TwitchCon next year. I don't know if I'm going to be in the SFX category or the sewing category, though, is the only thing. Because it does lean pretty heavily into prosthetics, SFX, and lighting. So we'll see. I'd prefer to go in the sewing category because I missed out on doing that this year, but we'll see. Honestly, once it's finished, I'll just make a decision on which category it fits better in at that point, I think. Because, yeah, it depends on how much I get done. I also would like to actually make a prop that I can bring with me this time. The thing is, in the game, Zoe doesn't have any props, but Joe does. And I'm like, could I make Joe's prop and just give it to Zoe? Maybe. Maybe. These Spanx underwear, Robin, when I get the body for it, yes! It's the best one. I've always kind of wanted to do something for the 1960s Batman, just for, like, first of all, it's the only Batman that I've ever seen other than Lego Batman. I've seen Lego Batman and 1960s Batman. So it's the only one I can really draw inspiration from, but also I just loved it so much. It made me smile every time. And I know that's kind of not what Batman's meant to be about, but like, to me, that is what Batman's about. Batman is about smiling. Do you want to? Thank you. I bought a dress with fabric that feels like a double layer of swimsuit fabric. Ooh, too big, but how do I tighten it? Double layer of swimsuit fabric, like a stretchy fabric. How do I tighten it? I guess just sew it smaller. Like do some tacking stitches. If you need help with something, let me know. Thank you. Actually, I am going to need quite a lot of help. Basically, I'm going to ask a few people around if they have any advice. I need to stick something to my face, right? Across to about here. The thing is, I have HS on my face, which means I can't use adhesives without it being quite dangerous for me and potentially causing a flare-up mid cosplay or after cosplay. Either way, I really don't want to have too many flare-ups on my face because they add like a lot of extra skin, they can add scar tissue, it's just not ideal. So I can't use adhesives on my face. That being said, I do need to like basically have something that looks like it's attached to my skin. It's kind of a difficult situation. It's why I stay away from wigs, because I can't do a wig with a bit at the front. What do you call it? The netty bit at the front. I'm sure you know what I mean. I can't do those because I can't stick them down. So that's why I've strayed so far away from any costume with a wig, because I just know I can't do it well. But this is the same kind of issue where it's like I can't stick stuff to my face, really. I could probably get away with doing it under the eye and the cheek because I've never had flare-ups there, but I 100% can't do it on my forehead. I've had multiple flare-ups there. It's bad news. So just like, it's I guess to any cosplayer, it'd be what other options would you suggest? Because I can have it just draped over my face, but I know it's not going to look as good. The only other thing I can think to do would be to have some like pieces that pull to the rest of the, because I'm going to make the wig as a headpiece. Can't stick it down, so you do what you can. Pulling to like there as like a decorative feature. That's the only other thing I can think to do. It's difficult. Lace fronts, that's the word, thank you. Plus, I still don't know if I'm allowed to enter 1D. Personally, and I don't mean this as any offense because I'd love to see it in person, truthfully, I don't think you're going to be able to enter that one. I think that it has to be, it sounds pretty solid in the rules that it has to be created in the last in the last 12 months from the announcement of TwitchCon. So if TwitchCon gets announced in November, I think you'd get 12 months before that, or something like that. But basically, it needs to be made pretty recent to the TwitchCon, so, which I am honestly not the biggest fan of as a rule, because it does cut out costumes, like for instance, your Sansa, it cut out costumes like that, ones that take more than a year to make. So I'm not super keen on it. What I would say is maybe email. I'm sure, because at the moment TwitchCon is happening, there would be some emails you can ask for queries. If you can get that email in before the 31st when they close entries, just email as if you're entering San Diego, right? And be like, just as a quick question, what is the rules of the costume being made? It says 12 months, what do you mean by that? Does it just have to have something made in the last 12 months, or does the whole costume have to be made? You should be able to email them up until the 31st because there is a costume competition open. Of course, you don't have to enter it, but I think to get that feedback before the next one would be good. Oh dear. Deep voice, smile criminal scutting to Gotham Island forever. Taylor said I need to sew. Probably so. You probably need to sew, to be honest, with the stretch fabric as well. Ah, dear. 90s. I probably would actually enjoy the cartoon. Do you know where I can watch that, Scorpion? What triggers the flare-ups? So what triggers the flare-ups is it's a condition of your sweat glands if you sweat more than usual. Which is why I don't wear wigs anymore, because yeah, having any bit that's glued down or any bit that's just really hot, I can't have it. I have it under both arms, my thighs, and on my head behind my ears. But the head ones are the ones that I really worry about long term, because if I get scars on my thighs, I get scars on my thighs, but on my face, it causes tracking. So basically you get like the scar, and then like a line between them. And once you get to that stage, it will just get worse and worse. And I have it very mildly, honestly, comparatively to a lot of people. Mine is really, really mild, and I can mostly keep it under control with lifestyle factors, like eating the correct things, not getting too warm, managing my temperature at all times, and not having anything really tight in the areas where it's affected. But wigs have historically been one of the worst things for me. I literally have had abscesses so large they've like swelled my eyes shut, so like they're not small. I definitely wouldn't be able to stream if I had any of them either, because it's like so against TOS, and I have the VTuber for that reason, but ideally I'd like none. Oh, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. Ooh, you know what, I think I've seen pictures of Harley from the cartoon series, but I've not watched it. I've just seen pictures. Morning Cthulhu and morning Riku. I hope you're both having a good day. You should, Riku. You should do that. A positive emotional response to something yesterday. I was sorting through my Lego Technic pieces and found all the parts for a set that was my granddad. Oh, I have a huge wave come over me crying and something for him. Oh, that is nice. Heck yeah. That's lovely, Cooper. Is it possible it's lower quality adhesives that can cause that? It's basically anything that would make you sweat more. I have to be kind of careful because it's my face, which is why I just don't do it. But I have the flare-ups from just wigs. So wigs that haven't been stuck down. So it's that temperamental, like to the point where like, you know, a hat that's too tight would probably do it. My headphones have given me them multiple times from behind my ears, to the point where they're a bit more scarred now, like visibly. But there's also very little I can do about that. So, you know, it is what it is. And I've had it since I was like 20 as well. 20 was the age I just got really sick. Everything at once. I blame the flu. I had the flu when I was 20. But, yeah. It's a little difficult to work around. You make a good poison ivy? Thank you. I think you'd make a good poison ivy. Fuck anyone that can't work on this costume full time, and the blackface, absolutely shocking presentation. So obviously after seeing the Instagram and stuff like that, I fully disagree with what happened. It's difficult because I don't want to necessarily come in and be like I'm defending them, especially not after the Instagram stuff. That's very different. When they came in, the first thing they said was, I fucked up my makeup. Does anybody have any highlighter? So I would say that it's likely that none of the people, the cosplayers that took part, would have seen it as like on purpose, because they came in and they were like, I've sweat, everything's blended together. Has anyone got highlight because my face is like brown right now? And that was the first thing they did when they came in. And then they spent like the first hour trying to fix their makeup, to the point when they were judged, they didn't have their full costume on because they were spending so long trying to fix their makeup that they couldn't get judged in their full costume. And they gave them like the 10-minute warning like twice. So they really were trying to fix it, but they didn't have the equipment and stuff like that. And it's not an excuse for any of the Instagram comments, because those were awful. But I do think it might excuse if any of the other cosplayers are defending them, or if any of the judges are defending them. Because what we saw was not the Instagram posts. All we saw was somebody come in, be like, I've mucked up my makeup. My face is basically brown. Has anyone got anything that can help me take this off or highlight the face? And nobody did. Like, I think some people had some like really colorful stuff, but nothing that they could have used to like lighten it. But yeah, yeah, that's why none of the cosplayers will probably see it like that. And I did see like one of the judges did defend it, and I imagine they defended it because that's all we saw. We saw somebody come in and be like, I've mucked up. But yeah, I just didn't want anyone to think like, oh yeah, every single cosplayer here is defending it. We saw something very, very different to what people online saw. And I 100% do not stand behind any of the Instagram stuff she was posting. And with that, along with what happened, it's like, okay, that does create a very different picture to somebody coming in, having sweat, and it blended together, and then tried to highlight it for the whole day, because that's what we saw. Dear. Wait, what happened? So, Shifty, I don't want to go too into it on stream, because, again, I feel like I'm very conflicted, because I really don't agree with any of the Instagram stories they put, but then I'm also like, but they clearly knew it was wrong. It's like a very different situation to what happened with the French cosplayer a few years ago, where she made prosthetics and like painted her face black, and like it's very different to that. At least it was in my mind very different to that, because clearly they were trying to fix it. And I'm like, if you can recognize that it's wrong and like trying to fix it as much as possible, then that to me feels a bit different than someone who's done it on purpose. But then having seen the other stuff on Instagram, where I don't want to say any of it, to be honest, because it's just not great. But some of the more insensitive stuff, it's insensitive in like, is the best way of taking away from it. It's racist at worst. It paints a very different picture to what any of the cosplayers saw. So I think a lot, but then I'm also like, I don't want to not say that, because if other cosplayers do jump forward to defend it, I don't want them to immediately blanket as racist, because what we saw was so different. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of how I feel. I'm very like, about the whole thing, because what we saw was so different to whatever happened online at the same time. And I'm like, obviously I don't agree with it. I don't agree with blackfacing. I don't agree with changing your skin color for a character. But it's difficult because that's not what we saw. But then online it is. So it's a complicated one for me. Oh dear. Oh god, I'm sorry, I'm missing some stuff. Oh, B! Thank you for the lurk! Take care of yourself! She had multiple videos, dark makeup test of the character where she slathers on dark foundation, and done it for other characters too. And the 90s Batman character, I'm seeing pink names and I'm like, it's all the same person. The cartoon, there's a Harley Peck background on the cheek and blushes, and I saw a sketch. Oh dear. I haven't seen any of the cosplay of the judges defending it, don't worry. I just haven't seen anyone speaking out. Sadly, the judge that defended it didn't know it was a PSA character, and as soon as she found out, she led up to it defending it. Yeah, I think that's the other thing, is like, if you don't know the character, you're not I mean, I don't even really know the character that well. I just know a couple other people that cosplayed her. But if you don't know the character, you wouldn't necessarily automatically know. It's difficult. What other post? Yeah, I don't really want to say it because I don't want to spread that kind of... Also, as a Twitch streamer, you always have to be aware that somebody might take something you say and be like, she said it first, when I'm like obviously repeating something, where I don't really want to say what some of the posts were. What I would say is it wasn't taken very seriously. The apology was not how I... The thing is, I feel like she could have explained this and apologized and promised to do better quite easily, but most of the apology was woe is me. And I was brought up in a way that if you're apologizing because you've done something wrong, you don't turn it back on the person that you're apologizing to. It's the same as like when you apologize and you don't say, well, I'm really sorry, but... Because when you add the but, it's shifting the blame from you to somebody else. That's how I was raised. So that's how I approach apologies in general. If I'm apologizing seriously, like I know I say sorry a lot on this channel, I'm British, I can't help it. But like, if I'm apologizing seriously to something like I've actually done something wrong, it's important to take ownership of what you've done wrong and apologize sincerely rather than turning it back on the person you're apologizing to. Because it just comes across as passive-aggressive and that you don't really care. And I was taught that from like the age of 6. Like, I remember being in school and being said, no buts. Because when you but, that means you're turning it back on them. Like, no buts. You're sorry because you did this thing. That's it. That's it. That's all it needs to be. I know on the internet there's also like an expectation of I'll do better and I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this. But in my mind, a real apology is, I'm sorry that I did this thing. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's it. That's it. That's what an apology is in my mind. I think they still have the chance to do that. And I fully believe in that people deserve second chances when they notice that they've done something wrong. If they can recognize what happened was wrong, and then that's, you know, that's how I see it. But they have to first recognize it and not blame the audience. Otherwise, to me, that's not a real apology. And at the end of the day, she's not apologizing to me anyway. I was just a confused bystander to most of this. But that's how I view apologies in general, is you can't turn it back on the person you're apologizing to. Oh dear. One of the girls there, Blackface, accompanied with incredibly racist comments on her Instagram and then has since lied multiple times with excuses which can all be immediately disproven with other racist stuff she's done. Yeah, so this is the thing, is like, I've only seen that stuff because of you. Because you were posting it. Like, they're not somebody that I follow, and I only met them for the first time at TwitchCon, so my first experience with this person was, I've mucked up my makeup, I need help to fix it, it's too dark. That was my first impression of them. So yes, all of us could immediately see that her face was brown, but like most of us would have probably seen how she reacted to it and been like, she's trying to fix it, okay? Like, you know, it is one of the hottest days of the year, it's clearly a mistake, yada yada yada. But I'll be honest, like, yeah, it's the stuff that we didn't see that was the issue. What we saw was fine. Like, people do mess up their makeup, especially in like the stress of a convention performance. But it's the stuff online that really made it questionable. Anti-blackface while the company is at least as bad, has a history of accusing mixed race people. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's an issue too. Like, you know, Italians really get the short end of the stick a lot of the time. It's important to actually know who you're talking about and, you know, investigate your sources before actually making that accusation, because otherwise you could really damage someone's reputation for something that isn't actually their fault. But yeah, not the case in this one. On her Twitch stream, she was laughing at the whole situation and saying more race stuff, so yeah, that's beyond saving. Yes, but no cuts. No buts, no buts. On this stream, 0 buts. Atsu, welcome on in. All apologies and lack thereof. If these like, in my mind, it's, I'm really sorry about this thing that happened. I'm really sorry that it's upset so many people. But the way that you're treating me is not fair. And it's like, I'd say asking to stop death threats, and I'd hope that people really weren't sending death threats, because it should never get to that point. Like, you're not judge, jury, and executioner. You don't get to choose if somebody dies just because you don't like them. That's that's not how that works. And sending death threats, it never should get to that. But what we saw was most of the people were sending, like, is there a reason why you darkened your skin to match their race? Is that something you did on purpose? People were often actually giving the benefit of the doubt in the comments, and they were being treated as people giving death threats. And I could see why you would get defensive, and, like, you know, if you're having that many people come down on you. But at the same time, they have the right to ask that sort of thing, and you kind of just have to take it. If you make a mistake, you kind of just have to take it, and doing a proper apology where you apologize to anybody that got hurt is the best option. Just not making it about yourself, because I don't doubt that it's been really hard for them as well. I don't doubt that. I think being under that much pressure and scrutiny from the public is going to be hard, but that's not what this is about. It's not about how hard it's been for them. It's about what happened to make it like that, and that's really what should have been addressed. Oh dear. Oh, I did make it too short. That's okay. We'll loosen some of these out just a little bit. Easy peasy. I'd rather make it too short than make it too long. We don't like butts over here. Flay, we absolutely despise butts over here. No butts. So these will no longer be proper traditional box pleats, but like I said earlier, I'm making this for myself. I don't really care. So I don't understand how makeup works. What color was it meant to be that it got that much darker? So the thing is, I can't say what her plan was, but from the character is not white. And so she painted her face tan, and then of course did the really intense contour that you see in Borderlands. But because of the original doing your face darker, that's what's really a no-go in the cosplay community. So you might just be like putting on a lot of extra tan, you might be painting your face full on black. But it's the same kind of, you don't change your race to another recognizable race for cosplay. Like pink, brown, no, not brown, pink, blue, green, that's all fine. Like honestly, you know, if you're doing an unnatural skin tone, you're fine. But there's a history behind painting your face darker to match another race. And that's why it's not okay, because that's like within lifetime. Like a lot of people will remember that. And it's not okay because it does fall under like a hateful act. Whether or not it's your intention to do that doesn't actually really matter. You don't paint your face to another race because it can have such a negative impact. And unfortunately, you can also, you know, there's a lot of really painful memories for a lot of people around that kind of practice. You just don't do it. And it doesn't really matter if you're painting your face black, if you're painting it Hispanic, if you're painting it Asian. You just don't paint yourself to represent another race. It's just not okay. It's been a big taboo in the cosplay community for a very long time at this point. Long enough that everyone would know. And that's where it comes down to. It doesn't matter if you're specifically like doing blackface like traditional. It falls under the same thing, whether you're adding extra tan to appear Hispanic or you're painting your face full of black with prosthetics. Regardless, it's not okay. But thank you for the wait. We don't have butts here. That's the thing. She was fully intended to be dark herself, and she just lied to defend herself. I'm gonna say I'm by Essex, but this is the thing. I would say the difference is the people in Essex are trying to look tanned. They're not trying to look black. And whenever somebody does come out and they're like, I want to look black, they get a lot of backlash. The difference with the Essex look is that it's not made to intentionally mimic other races. It's just because people want bleached blonde hair and to look really tan. I mean, there is a lot of nuance around this kind of thing, and I get it, but the main issue is dyeing yourself, you know what I mean, painting yourself to appear as another race. That's the real issue. Always been frowned on with the amount of laughers got to cosplay. There's a huge backlash about it when the laughers didn't see that they're wrong. They're only characters, so what's the harm? Yeah, but so were all the blackface theaters only characters. Like, if you look back at like all those people in like the 1930s, 20s, whatever, that were painted their face black with like exaggerated features, they were just playing characters. But clearly there is the harm there. Like, I don't think I need to explain why that was harmful, but they were just playing characters too. No, obviously, it is harmful. It does have a big impact on people. And especially in a cosplay community where it should really be about fun, first and foremost. Like, it shouldn't get to the point where people are having their races imitated by other cosplayers. It should just be about fun. And so it's a real shame to see that kind of attitude being taken. Yeah. But what I really wanted to get at is, like, if other cosplayers from that convention do get confused, do jump on to defend it, like, please don't immediately think that they're racist. We saw something very different. And I think, yeah, it makes it very complicated in the fact that, like, if I hadn't seen what Amazonia was posting, I would have been confused, because I was like, well, it's not really fair. They just messed up their makeup. Like, if I hadn't seen that, I would have been proper confused as why people were attacking them so hard. So yeah, I guess that's what I wanted to say, is if you do see any cosplayers specifically from the convention defending it, it's not their fault. Like, don't immediately jump on racism. It's probably that they saw the same thing that I did and have gotten confused. Yeah. With the blackface, I'm pretty sure it's the characters that were the harm. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, absolutely. But that's what I mean, is, like, it has that historical implication of, like, white people doing it. So, while you might not see it, it's the same thing. A lot of people will. Yeah. Like, well, that's the other thing, is in cosplay competitions, at the very least, you will not be marked down for cosplaying outside of your race. There will be no marks down for that, because it makes no sense to do so. Like, it is better to encourage people to cosplay and not change their skin color than to mark them down for cosplaying outside their race. In the same way that you won't be, like, marked down for cosplaying a different gender to you, or a different size of character to you. Like, that doesn't count into accuracy at all, so there's really no reason to do it. Jenny, welcome on in. Yeah, if you feel any darker skin to the character, you're essentially saying that black people can't cosplay white characters without lightening theirs. Yeah, that's also a big old yikes. Also, I'm getting warm. I didn't realize today was going to be so hot. I might have to get changed in a minute, because I don't want to get too toasty, make the room all sweaty smelly before we have people come and view it. Mujaffers, welcome on in. I hope you're having a good day. We are making a little skirt from some fabric I got in Amsterdam. Oh dear. Excuse me. Right, I've threaded that. 2 seconds, I'm changing my top. It's too damn hot. And I don't know where my thing. Where is it? Where is it? Oh good god, did I delete it? I have been deleting things willy-nilly, to be honest, by accident. Oh no, there it is, there it is. Alright, tea break, 10 minutes, but I'm not getting tea, I'm just gonna change my top, and I can't do that while I'm live, for obvious reasons. And I wanna play The Sims, do it. Do it, it's waiting for you. Play The Sims. Oh dear, most competitions now state they do. I saw Crown Championships did after that incident. And I think a lot of other ones took that note and was like, okay, let's prevent this from happening at our convention. Dear. Race is different from size and gender. Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was just talking about, like, the accuracy, that it won't be taken away. But, like, as a, how to put it, regardless of your race, gender, size, you can cosplay any character without it affecting your accuracy. Not to say that, like, it's all the same. Right, 2 seconds. Let me get changed. There we go, we're back. This is pajamas, but, like, whatever. It's fine. Right. Stop. And I want the little pieces in front of the ear today. To cover my ears up. Nice. Now my hair matches my top. You know what? That's an aesthetic I want to stick with. I dye my hair to match my clothing. Right. Let's... Oh, thank you for the egg. Who was that? Scott, thank you for egg. Oh, dear. Oh, and you gone for Dwarf Warlock? Nice. Nice, eh? Nice. We used to have this variety of Dutch discussion that went on in the 2010s. We had our traditional holiday. Santa was based on one of the things is Pete Black. There was a big It's Our Tradition versus it's literal blackface. Yeah, I think, listen, traditions are all well and good, but when they actively, what do you call it, degrade or another race, it's, or just another group of people in general, like, it might be worth just, you know, getting rid of that one. Right, let's see. We'll do it to 2. I want to do a zigzag along the top because that will hem this piece of fabric but also get those bits sewn in. Oh, I'm stuck. Yeah, there we go. Also, my foot is really far away. Give me 2 seconds. I've been moving stuff recently. There you go. That's better. And I think that this needs to go a bit more. There you go. Zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, this is just for me, so if it's not perfect, I don't mind too much. It's like a little fun project rather than... after the last project, let's do something fun, right? Something not super stressful with a lot of pressure riding on it. Let's just do something fun. So I don't really care too much if it's not perfect. Oh. Actually, this one I could probably loosen a little bit. There you go. And get that across there. Make sure that's in there fine. There we go. Can maybe make that just a little bigger. There you go. Nice, nice. Dwarf equals bearded jelly, easy choice. Heck yeah. And she is amalgamation of First Nation and Scandinavian Viking as well. The thing is, though, with Aloy, most white people won't need to, like, they not even need to, but they won't consider changing their skin color to do Aloy, right? Like, that's not, it's a little different. I think mainly the issue comes in when the character is clearly another race, and then somebody white comes along and is like, and I shall be that race too. It's like, okay, that's, nope. Oh yeah. There we are. Ooh! Cat's gone for Goblin Bard, Scott's gone for Tiefling Druid. What do we like at the moment? Because they're all going up pretty evenly. So Goblin Bard's still a little bit in the lead, just behind Tiefling Druid, and then Dwarf Warlock's gone a little bit behind. Okay. I'm honestly happy to see it as what do you call it, varied as it is, spread as it is. I just so normally we get one that's like, that's the one everyone wants. So it's like, okay, I guess that's the one. It's nice to see people liking all of them. Yeah. I guess we did design them on stream though, so hopefully it should be somewhat to stream chat's taste when we designed it on stream. You'd hope, right? You'd hope. And so is that Warlock isn't more popular. I'm wondering if it's because it's a little less colourful. Oh wait, I don't have the picture of it up here. I should do really. I think I called it image 5, just to make my life really easy. Or was it image 3? It might have been image 3. Yeah, there it is. Just to make my life really easy, I didn't name it. There you go. Put that in the corner of the screen. Maybe the top corner, since less happens up there. There you go. So people can see what they're voting for. Sheba, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing a lot better as well, because you weren't very well last time I saw you. I hope you're doing well. We are just having like a little fun project. We're making like a little simple skirt, and it's from fabric that I bought in Amsterdam, so it's kind of like memorabilia skirt sort of thing. That's the plan. That's the plan. Right, let's see. I think the belt is a little bit shorter. Maybe, oh, maybe actually it's pretty good. Actually, might be pretty good. Serviceable, serviceable. So, I do want to hem these together eventually, so what I'll do is pin it along just underneath the stitching we just did. Go. Oh dear. Call my files. Yeah, same. Like every time I take a screenshot or like a snip or something like that, it's like you've already got a screenshot called capture one. I'm like, perfect, time to call it. And then I can never find my screenshot because I've named it something stupid. But no, I do exactly the same thing. You've never sewn clothes before. It's nice. It's just like a nice, I don't know, experience. It's very relaxing. A lot of clothes you like buy patterns for. Skirts are a little bit easier and you can kind of just get by with measurements, which is why it's like a nice relaxing sewing project rather than having to like lay out really big patterns and stuff like that. But no, I definitely recommend it if you have the interest in sewing clothing to give it a go, because it might end up being easier than you think it is. I think the first few times you get to teething practice with the patterns and stuff like that. But after a while, it's not so hard as maybe you'd consider it to be. And if you give it a go, you might find you really enjoy it. Plus, if you want to get into cosplay, sewing clothing and like practicing on that is a really good option. Because making your own patterns is a lot harder than using other people's patterns most of the time. Ooh. Oh yeah, I get you. I see what you're putting down. And, oh wait, this is gonna end early. I might have to shift this along a little bit. That's okay, we can do that. Ah, dear. I finished to the hospital. I know. I was actually talking about that on stream the other day. I was like, if you wanted to know how hardcore these cosplayers were, one of them literally went to A&E right after the convention. Like, they did their performance on stage and you'd have no idea that they were literally having to go to A&E immediately afterwards. Bless you. I'm glad you're doing better though. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, Gwen is great. Gwen is such a strong choice. Right, let's... Right. Run stitch. Ah dear. Amazon ruined my order so bad. They gave me an XXL thigh highs and the dress. Oh wait, that's hard. Thigh highs will be hard to fix. Oh dear. Oh, for context and it errors me out. Oh god. $10 to do the thigh highs. Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a difficult fabric to sew with, honestly. I avoid like plague. There we go. And I can't decide whether I want to put like any pretty ribbons around it. I think I want this to be reasonably minimalist because I actually want to wear it, but there's also a part of me that like, this would look really good with a gold ribbon. Put some gold ribbon as decoration. No, brain. No gold ribbon. We don't need to do it. It's not necessary. But what if? Go. And in there. I have got a zip for this, but the zip is too long, so I will have to shorten it a bit. Because I got like a bag of zips for like £5 and there's like 20 zips in it, and I was like, I cannot let that go. 20 zips for £5? Like, absolutely. And they're all random colours as well. So, or was it a bit more than that? It might have been £8. But whatever it was stupid cheap. And so I got that, and I'm using one of the zips from that, but all the zips are 22 inches. Every single zip, same length. So they're going to be a little long for this project, so I'll just shorten it once I put it in. Oh dear. Oh, Druid's got to 29. Whoa. Hit you for a lurk. Oh, Altru, thank you so much for the lurk. Take care of yourself. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Arsenal on their headquarters. Oh dear. I really got to learn how to sew again soon. Well, soon, Shifty, we'll have like, well, I say that. I think you were here. We need to get the loft redone quickly, like put all the insulation back in and stuff. But once we've done that, we'll have a sewing room that you could always come and use. But I do need to fix up some bits of it. It's a problem. Also, there we go. Some little pleats in it. Can you see that? I hope you can see it. We will fold that waistband over because I really want a small waistband with this. But there it is. Cute. I like cute clothing, so this is my aesthetic. I'm going to trim this and quickly just do a zigzag over the edge. Oh yeah. But then we can get to doing the bit folded over. I think I'll hand stitch it, honestly, just so that it's a bit more subtle, the foldy over bit. I'm not sure. I'll consider my options, but at the moment my options feel like it would be best to... But actually I could do just one line, and if... It might be okay, actually. I might be overthinking it. I might be fine just to do it on the machine. Cut all this with my massive scissors, because I don't know where I've put my small scissors. Also, my bins are really far away right now. Dear. Oh, heck and thank you. I was thinking I might try and make cosplay soon. Heck yeah! Well, that's the thing, is like, it's quite expensive starting cosplay if you don't have all the equipment off the bat, and if you don't have a maker space near you. So if you wanted, you'd always be welcome to drive down and like use the craft room. Like, I don't think I really need to show you how to use the stuff that I've got here, but you'd be more than welcome to have a quick tutorial if you need it. But I've got a sewing machine, embroidery machine. Of course, I have like heat guns, Dremels, stuff for foam if you want that. But I definitely have a lot more stuff for sewing. Oh dear. It's just, it might take a little bit. We're hoping that by the end of the summer, the roof and loft room will all be sorted. So hopefully by September kind of time is what we're thinking. Just a little bit longer than the rest of the house. Did I just send 80 quid in a bid and bird and blend including shipping? Yes, you did. Do you like the tea though? I hope that you do. I have been very much enjoying it. Oh, dear. Also, welcome on in, Jason. I hope you're doing well. Did you use promo code Jenny to get the free samples? True. Did you manage to get yourself some free samples? Okay, let's... go. Just to prevent it fraying from wear and tear. Is it necessary? Honestly, probably. If I want to wear this and put it in the washing machine and stuff, it's probably necessary. This is where if I had an overlocker, it'd be really good, because I could just run this through the overlocker without having to like trim it and sew it. Carl, welcome on in, and Queen, welcome! Can't say your ghost shifty, that'd be really cool. We like to party. 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 La Venga buses flying, and everybody's jumping. New York to San Francisco, an interstate free disco. The wheels are still on turning, and traffic lights are burning. So if you like to party, come on and move your body. I'm just so into that, actually. Tempting. Not what I said I was going to do, but it is tempting. See, if I had my iron, I could iron this. I've packed everything away. You use it on your first order? Heck yeah. Sort of, yeah. Thinking about cosplaying the humanoid version. Oh, that'd be sick. It's fun to make your own designs like that as well, because it gives you a lot of flexibility with like things you're comfortable with, things you're not comfortable with, as well as, you know, choosing slightly cheaper or more expensive fabrics depending on your cost and stuff like that. It's good. Making your own designs just gives you a lot of flexibility like that. Would recommend. And honestly, people love to see original art. Oh dear. I'm gonna cook. Oh, good luck with the cooking. I hope it goes well. Oh yeah. Oh, got a second pin with me. And go back this way. I'm wondering if I could just, if I hold it really tight, put that there and do like a top stitch. I should pin them all first, but I might do that. I might, listen, I'm lazy. I'm lazy not even cosplay. I'm lazy sewer today. And that would give me the effect that I desire. So, considering it. It'd be easier if I could iron it first, to be honest, but you know, we live with the limitations of I'm packing right now, and and most of the stuff that I use is gone. And welcome on in, I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, yeah, that's a good question. Will Shifty Butt make an appearance? Are you going to do, in fact, assless chaps as part of your costume? Oh dear. I had a wonderful time, thank you, Ad. I had a really, really good time. And honestly, the cosplay competition was so good. Like, it was so much fun. They treated us so well. Would recommend to any cosplayer, honestly. We had a great time. Okay. They treated the helpers really, really well as well. It wasn't just the cosplayers who got treated well. Also, the people helping us out were treated really well, which was lovely. Really nice to see. Go. I might actually want to pin this on the other side, but I'll do it on this side first, and then maybe I'll turn it over and do it on the other side. Because honestly, just doing this is a bit cheeky. But yeah, I kind of want to stitch it down on this side. There you go. Good. And then I just hold that down and whoop, whoop. Oh, also those are facing the wrong direction. I'm going to have to repin them anyway. Okay, we're working with a small brain today. It's okay. So this is just for the waistband. It's a pretty small one. I didn't want a big waistband. I already have like a really long waist. So accentuating my long waist is not normally on my to-do list. If I can make it look a bit smaller, that's ideal. Because yeah, my middle body is easily the biggest part of me. I don't got long legs, but I've got really long body. There you go. And just hop, hop, hop. And then, wah. And put that in there. Oh, there you go. Is that okay? Is that gonna be straight? Should I pin that again? Maybe. Maybe I should pin that again. There you go. Oh. And put that in there. Oil. And over there. There we go. None of this got to put the wall on the other side, but that's okay. I'd rather take the step to have them pinned on the right side. Because that's the side that you're actually going to see. So I want the stitch to be neat. Yes! I mean, how we yell at cosplayers and furries when we're in... But mostly I'm just not sure they can hear inside the costume. They need to hydrate. Oh look, there's got a full pattern on it. Yeah! Heckin' spatty. Spatty. I bought this fabric whilst I was in Amsterdam. Specifically with the idea that I could make myself like a little souvenir. Like a little sewn souvenir. And so that's what I'm doing today, is I'm like making myself my own souvenir from the trip. And honestly, would recommend so far. It's just nice because this fabric will remind me of the trip forever, and now it's like that I can wear. I mean, I could have also just bought clothing, I suppose, but this feels a bit more special to me. Oh, there you go. And get that in there. Hold it into the other side. There you go. The reason I'm turning all the pins to be this way is just because it means the smaller bit of the fabric goes in this side of my machine. Otherwise, I'd be dealing with all of the skirt, and I just... Nah, don't really want to be dealing with all the skirt, to be honest. There you go, and flip that over. And just make sure it's going to the end, because even though it should, you never know. There you go. Now let's do a top stitch. I'm on zigzag right now, so I should change that. There we go. Wow. Go and put that in there. Oh, sorry, I'm just kicking boxes under the desk. Don't mind me, it's fine. There you go, and take the pin out and go, take that pin out. should have pinned it sideways, but that's okay. I'm not repinning it for like a third time. I don't have the patience for that. Not for just for something fun. Des souvenir. Yeah, you know how long it took me to find out how to spell souvenir? Oh my god. Souvenir is a hecking hard word to spell. Jesus. Ever heard of the movie Climax? I have not, but then I also don't really watch films and television very much, to be honest. I don't enjoy watching television. I know it's gonna sound stupid. It makes me want to throw up a lot of the time. I just find it completely overstimulating. Twitch streams are okay. I normally have them in the background when I do other things, and I really enjoy that kind of dynamic with watching rather than having to pay attention like 100% of the time. I struggle with that. The amount of times I've had to like run to the toilet because I thought I was gonna throw up because somebody really wanted to show me something. And I'm like, I tell you, I'm not over exaggerating. I really don't like doing this. Every now and again when I'm sick, I'll watch a movie, and that's normally the only time I do it. And it's only because I can't physically move away. So if I, like when I had COVID, I watched Encanto kind of thing. But that's why I normally only watch like 3 movies a year. I just can't stomach it, you know? Oh dear. I think it might be French. Oh, maybe that's why I struggle to spell it. Could be. Now that you've said it, it kind of sounds French. There we go.